My name is Geoff Cook. I'm the CEO of MyYearbook. MyYearbook started about 5 years ago. We've grown to about 80 people. We've raised about $20 million over the course of the last 5 years. We're a top 25 site according to ComScore in page views and minutes. We monetize through a combination of both advertising and virtual goods, which I'll get into, and a lot of our virtual goods comes from social games play. We're on a $20 million revenue run, and we recently announced profitability. So I'm here today to speak to this topic: how do I add social games to my platform? We have some experience with this at MyYearbook. Roughly a third of our monetization comes from social games play, and roughly a third of our time spent is in social games. The way we approach this question is basically the topic for today. And we first approached it by saying, how do I add social games to my platform is not the same question as saying, where should I put Farmville on my site? So we looked at it and said, we certainly don't want to explore a Me Too strategy, and we didn't see long-term potential in that. And that's fairly easy to say, but at the same time, you're leaving money on the table when you say that, because those games monetize extremely well. One thing we were cognizant of is that Facebook is a fantastic place to play social games, and those social games, and many of those social games are enhanced by the real-world social graph of the user, and to the extent that they are, then Facebook is the best place to play those social games, having the best social graph. And so, fortunately for MyYearbook and potentially other platforms, there are social games where that social graph essentially becomes a liability as opposed to a credit for the platform. And I'll get into what I mean by that. And most importantly, social games have to have something to do with if you're thinking about adding it to your own platform, those social games have to have something to do with the context of the platform. You're not going to add social games that don't have any relevance contextually. So given that context matters, I'm going to play a couple-minute video to basically give you a sense of what MyYearbook is. I'm sure many people have not been on it.
Welcome to MyYearbook. Our goal is to build the best place to meet new people. Users log into MyYearbook with their Facebook, MySpace, or Twitter credentials, but they join for a very different reason: to meet new people. While Facebook is a great place for keeping up with your existing friends and family, all of MyYearbook social games are optimized around meeting new people. Each game we've added to the platform is also integrated with our virtual currency, Lunch Money. In Blind Date, for example, members find their most compatible matches and friends by answering questions. 2 out of 3 green dots means that you match that user, and your prize is $500 Lunch Money and the ability to see more information about them, view their profile, and send them a message. But even if you answered wrong, you still have a second chance. You can use your Lunch Money for a do-over or a peek. MyYearbook members answer over 1 million compatibility questions every day, generating hundreds of thousands of matches. The latest and greatest way to meet new people on MyYearbook is Chatter, a real-time, location-based stream of status updates, photo uploads, and mini social games. Since Chatter's launch last fall, MyYearbook has grown fast. So, what's special about Chatter? We think of it as a discovery engine for people and content. Users post videos and photos and tell interesting photo stories. Chatter lets you comment with photos as well as text. Chatter is also a platform for social games. The Chatter stream offers dynamic feed items that enable in-stream interaction. Ask Me can be thought of as one big icebreaker. Users ask each other questions, and the answers publish into the Chatter stream where you can view them, comment on them, even answer them yourself. Rate Me and 2 Truths and a Lie go a step further, turning the stream itself into a mini-game for other users to play. With Rate Me, other users rate your photos on a scale of 1 to 10 without leaving the stream. 2 Truths and a Lie is a social twist on the old party game. A user posts 2 facts and 1 lie about himself. And when you see that post in the stream, you can guess the lie and see how others guess it. Again, all within the stream. Since the launch of Chatter games, total Chatter posts doubled to over 1 million per day, with more games scheduled for launch over the next 3 months. MyYearbook is always on the lookout for new fun games, that will make it even easier for our members to break the ice and meet each other.
So, as basically the video makes clear, that the differentiating point for MyYearbook is really meeting new people. That is the fundamental way the MyYearbook user differs from the Facebook user, in that they're interested in meeting new people as the primary use of the site. Let's see if I get back there. Yeah, I got it. All right. So, and this graph makes that clear. 70% of MyYearbook users, if you ask them, they're there to meet new people. Also, play games comes in as number 2, and then on Facebook, it's keep in touch with friends as 80% of the users. Of course, if you ask our members, it bears out. They say similar things. I'm able to meet people across the world that I would not normally meet in school or a social gathering. Good way to kill time with the games. People on MyYearbook are social and willing to communicate. Alyssa says something similar: talk to my friends, meet new people. Obviously, in order to put games on your platform, your users have to want to play them. 80% roughly of MyYearbook users do. And so, does it all matter? So in 2009 and continues throughout 2010, roughly a third of our revenue, and increasing, is coming from virtual goods revenue and the virtual currency lunch money. And actually that understates things, because our advertising piece often bundles in engagement campaigns for brands that wouldn't happen if it weren't for the currency. And so we have this lunch. In order to do social games on your platform, clearly need a virtual currency that is vibrant. We built an economy around lunch money. Lunch money is a virtual currency, allows you to do a number of things, from give gifts like Build a Bear or flowers, to donate to causes. Companies given a few $100,000 to causes in US dollars based on lunch money given of members, and purchase each other's photos. So when we think about building social games for MyYearbook, we generally think in terms of how can we make a game that's going to fit into the context of the site, meaning help people meet each other. And so that's the fundamental thing we're looking for. To date, we've done most of that development in-house. The person who gave that video's voiceover was actually one of our developers. But going forward and towards the end of this year, we're going to be announcing, well, not just towards the end of this year, middle to end of this year, we're going to be announcing a number of third-party games coming onto the platform. So to give you a sense of what a successful game looks like in the context of meeting new people, you saw Blind Date a little bit, but really what Blind Date is it's a game board of people where you try to answer 2 out of 3 questions right, the way they have, essentially, in order to match them. And if you match them, then their identity becomes known to you, and you can visit their profile, give them a gift, try to stand out. Over 1 million questions are answered every day in this manner. It's a fairly complicated, sophisticated system that every time I answer a question, my compatibility score with everyone else on the site is changing. Chatter is the most recent thing that we've built. And Chatter, visually similar to the Facebook news stream, but quite a bit different in that it's organized around the Near Me tab. So these are people near you, and you can filter this by age and gender. You can also click on friends to see the people who are your friends on MyYearbook, which typically means they're people you've met on MyYearbook, not your real-life social graph. We've done a number of things with Chatter. In particular, we launched a number of games on the platform. These are games that all launched in the last 8 weeks. We launched an Ask Me game, which is a lightweight social game around asking questions, a social Q&A service. A Rate Me game, which is a very easy way of rating pictures. It's kind of hot or not for the stream, essentially. And then 2 Truths and a Lie. And you can see it matters. So what we found is the Chatter is particularly good, and the stream is particularly good at driving engagement on behalf of our users. In particular, we crossed the 1 million posts a day threshold in Chatter. And so Chatter as a marketing vehicle for apps, probably no surprise there, but where Chatter is somewhat different is that the games are actually played within the stream itself. You're not always going off to a Canvas page to play the game.